Hey Stash Busters, this is Sunshine Mary with the Stash. Today I'm going to go over how to do this beautiful Alpine stitch. It's a really nice stitch because it just is comprised of an even number of stitches. So it doesn't have to be, the stitch math isn't hard. I like to put a little border around the sides just to make it look a little bit more framed, but that's not something you necessarily have to do. So we're going to be doing this swatch today, which is 10 stitches, and we're going to do a setup row. It's about 3 rows to set up for this Alpine stitch, and that's going to be comprised of a single crochet, a double crochet, and another single crochet. I'm going to assume that you know how to do that already. If you don't, you could take a look at our YouTube, and we have the tutorials for doing that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with our slip knot. I'm not going to be going very slow for these first couple of rows, and I might skip forward in the video editing, depending on how long this takes. So you're just going to choose your yarn and the hook that's appropriate to that yarn. So I'm using a worsted weight and then a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook for this particular one. I also have this handy dandy friend here, this yarn spindle that we sell here at the Stash. And that's going to make it a little bit easier for me to pull the yarn from the outside of this yarn ball. So we're going to go ahead and chain 10, and I'm going to do that really quick here. 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be for our pattern, and then I'm going to crochet or do one more chain for my turning chain. So then this first row of the setup for the Alpine stitch, we're going to do single crochets all the way across. And like I said, I'm going to have 10 here. You can choose to use the 2 outside for your framing, or you can just use that as part of your pattern. Either way is completely fine. Like I said earlier, if you don't know how to do a single crochet or any of that, you can definitely check out our other videos. So I'm going to do these guys really quick, and I have 10 on our first row. So there we have 10. So then I'm going to go back and we're going to do double crochets all the way across. So you could do chain 2 to turn. I prefer to just do this little trick that I learned, but that way there's no gap with the chain. So there's 2 and 3, 4. I love how it comes off the spindle. It's so nice. So we're going to double all the way across. And when we get across, our third row is going to be another row of single crochets. And that's going to be the last row before we actually start the Alpine stitch. So we'll get this last one here. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to go back across in single crochet. And like I said, I may edit some of this out depending on length of video. So we're going to go back across with the single crochet, and this is going to be, this is going to be our last couple stitches here. And then we're going to set up for our Alpine stitch. Okay. So like I said, I like to frame mine. If you don't, you can definitely do 2 chain stitches, and you can start right into this here. So our Alpine stitch is just going to be comprised of double crochets and front post double crochets. Now there is a little something that you have to do in order to make it sit evenly. So I did my first framing double crochet here, and I'm going to start the Alpine stitch. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go in front posted to not the single crochet but the double crochet row below that. We're going to yarn over and we're going to pull up a loop, but we're going to pull it all the way till it sits even with the row that we're on, and then we're going to finish our double crochet. Now you want to make sure that you skip this single crochet that we would have gone into, and we're going to go and put another double crochet into the single crochet after that. Okay, then we're going to skip a front posting on this one here, and we're going to go to the next one, so this guy here, and we're going to pull it up, and just make sure that you pull a nice loop, and it makes this pretty twisted motion here. And then we're going to finish our double crochet, and then we're going to make sure that we skip the one the single crochet that would have gone into, and go into the next one for our next double crochet. Then we're going to go ahead and yarn over, and we're going to go down to that row again of double crochets. We're going to front post in that double crochet, making sure that we're pulling the loops up so that they're the same height as our the row that we're on now. We're going to go ahead and do another double crochet, and then another front post double crochet, pulling up there, and then another double crochet. And then, like I said, I'm framing mine, so my last one will not be a Alpine stitch, it'll be a regular double crochet. Okay, then I'm going to chain one and turn my work. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and do one single crochet in each stitch across, and then we'll continue on with the Alpine stitch. And basically what we're going to be doing is the front posting in the opposite stitch that we did on our first row of Alpine stitch. So I'm going to get that single crocheting done. I'm going to turn it. So my first double crochet will always be a regular double crochet into the first stitch. Then, since we did an Alpine stitch here, we're going to do a regular double crochet into that stitch. Okay, and then we are going to put a Alpine stitch or a front post double crochet into that one. And like I said, make sure that you're pulling that up so that it stays even with the row. Then we're going to skip that single crochet that would have gone into. We're going to go into the next one and do a double crochet. Then we're going to come down and do another Alpine stitch into the regular double crochet from the last row, and then we're going to put a double crochet here, and we're going to do another Alpine stitch here, and then another double crochet here, and our last Alpine stitch here, making sure to pull up those loops, and then we're going to do our last double crochet here on the side. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're alternating your front posts, making sure you're pulling up that loop, which causes it to twist like that and kind of have that almost braided fun look. So we will do maybe a couple more rows, and then I think you'll have it. If you have any questions about this, feel free to let us know. It's a fun stitch, and like I said, I mean, it's any multiple of 2, any even number of stitches can make up this. So you can really use it on hats, you can use it on fingerless gloves, you can use it on pretty much anything. So it's kind of nice to have in your wheelhouse of stitches. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do my framing double crochet here. And then since this one was a regular double crochet, we're going to go ahead and make that the front post pulling up to make that lovely twist. We're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, then we're going to do the front post, double crochet in that one, making sure we pull up the loop, a regular crochet in the next. Then we're going to do a front post in the next, and double crochet in the next. So we've done that all the way across, alternating our front posts as we go to make that nice alpine stitch. Going to do the last one here. And then to finish off, I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way across to even it up from the bottom. And we will be done with our swatch. Just a couple more here. And we are done. So we'll take our scissors and cut that off. You can do as many or as little rows as you want to do, but that's kind of how it looks. Obviously, if you didn't have those framing rows, it would just be kind of more like that. But because I did those framing, it kind of gives it a double crochet on each side, so it looks a little bit more framed and nice. So again, if you didn't know how to do a double crochet or single crochet, check out our YouTube videos. So this has been Mary with the Stash in Baldwin, Wisconsin, doing the Alpine stitch. If you like what you see or you want to join us for more videos, go ahead and ring the bell in the bottom and subscribe. Also, if you want to join us on Tuesday nights for Stitch and Bitch, it's so much fun. Go to our Facebook page. So we'll see you later. No, it's not going to stop.
I was controlling my phone.